Hey guys, good morning. This is Pastor Travis here, live from Magnolia Baptist Church. Just wanted to touch base on a few things that I spoke about yesterday morning in church, and namely it's this, and it begins with a question. How hard is it really to invite people to church? Well, if you said not very, then you'd be right. It's not very hard, but yet at the same time, why is it so difficult? And there's a multitude of reasons that you could give. One, you're afraid of what the other person may say. Two, you forget. Two, you are looking for the opportunity, and then you forget about the opportunities that may be there. Maybe something gets in the way. If you're not intentional about some things, it's often easy to get distracted about some stuff. And so, and there's a host of other reasons as well that makes it hard to invite people to church. And so, I know and I believe personally that when we go out and invite people, we have a greater chance of having people come to visit our church. It's not quite as easy as it was back in the older days, for instance, where people would come because they knew someone who was here. Things have changed, and so we have to reach out to the people who are in our communities who may not even know about Magnolia Baptist Church or things of that nature. So to that end, we have developed a card here at Magnolia, and I wanted to show it to you a little bit more in depth. That is a little bit smaller than a postcard and has a lot of information on about our church. If you look at it, it's got a nice green background, but in that background is a darker shade of green that is a magnolia tree. That's the image of the tree there because we're Magnolia Baptist Church. Also, you have the white outline there of a church, which is actually our church, with the invitation at the top to come grow with us. Now, at the bottom is the phrase, helping people spread the fragrance of Christ everywhere, which is our mission statement. And within that mission statement is the command that we find in Scripture. We are to go out and to make disciples of all nations. We are to share Jesus, the hope of the gospel, with everyone that we meet. And if we're not going outside the walls of the church, we're not really fulfilling that. So the necessity for inviting people is there. And so on the back side of this card, let me show that to you as well, is just the information for our church, the meeting times, the church address. Also at the very bottom is a Google map diagram that if someone were to pull it up with their smartphone and typed in the address for Magnolia Baptist Church, that's exactly what they would find. It has our phone number and that you can find us on Facebook and also our website. And so there again, everything you need to know about Magnolia as an invitation is found within the context of this card. So we have developed that because we know that on one hand it's very easy to invite people, but it's oftentimes very hard for the reasons that we stated before. So with this card in hand, someone can just give this to someone that they meet and don't have to say anything else really about it. They can just say, hey, I would just like to invite you to church, or I'd like to give you this card. Most like some people might give a tract or something, and it's meant to help the process be a lot easier. To that end, we've also set up a time on August the 7th at Carroll's IGA in Stedman, where from the hours of 11 to 2, we're going to have a time of inviting people to church there on the front sidewalk there of Carroll's. Mr. Carroll has given us permission to do so, and so we will talk with people as they exit the store that day, and just we'll buy some drinks and offer them a drink and give them a card. Now, we won't say anything else about anything unless that person has a question about the church or maybe what we're about and things of that nature, and then we'll give answers and talk about what's happening here at Magnolia. But it's just for the purpose of handing out these invitations, much like you would hand out a flyer to a special event that you're having. Kimberly and I and the boys will be taking the first hour from 11 to 12, and then the second hour, our youth will be a part of that, and there will also be an emphasis for them for reaching other youth to invite them to the event we're having here on August the 28th for the youth here, the youth rally or the youth event. And so they're a part of that time from the hours of 12 to 1. Now we're looking for another group to take it from 1 to 2, whether it's a married couple or a couple of guys who want to do it or a couple of ladies, just to be there for that 1 hour on that Saturday, a fraction of the amount of time you have that day, just to simply invite people to church. And hey, guess what? When you're doing so, you're doing what Jesus said you're supposed to do anyway, and to inviting people to be a part of things here at church. So I encourage you to really think about that. Pick up some of these cards. We have several here. Ask me about them. I'll let you have a bunch if you want, and hand them out to people that you know, maybe co-workers you know, different other opportunities you may have. But also consider being a part of that thing on August the 7th, because I truly believe that if we get out there and invite people, that what we are doing is we're obeying what Jesus has asked us to do, and then it's on Him to bring the people into church. And so I want to I want us to see that when we are faithful, how God will respond to that. So again, this is what I talked about yesterday morning briefly in the announcement time. I hope this is a better image for you guys as you see this. And I'm encouraged by it, and I hope that it bears a lot of fruit for us. So if you have any questions, you want to be a part of that event on August the 7th, please reach out to me here at the church or email me or reach out to Fran and let her know. That's on August the 7th. We'd love to have someone take that last hour for us. I think it would be a truly great and a special opportunity for us to see God at work in our church. We love you guys, and I hope you have a great Monday, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.